Fellas, do not allow past experiences to haunt you, to cause you to live in fear. Because if you're not careful, it will paralyze you. It will prevent you from experiencing great things in the future. Learn from the past, but do not be held hostage. Do not live in the past. I speak to a lot of guys who are still caught up about a situation with a woman that happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And they're in pain right now. They're suffering every single day right now because they are choosing to suffer. And I know this is going to trigger some people. You waking up every day and deciding to be a victim of your past is a decision that you have made. Now, sometimes in life things happen that are not our fault. But you have to come to terms. You have to be accepting of the situation. Doesn't mean you like what happened, but you have to come to terms with it. Okay, it happened. For example, a woman cheats on you that you've been with for 7 years and you were faithful with. It's going to hurt like a motherfucker, of course it is. But you have to accept what has happened and you have to let go so that you don't self-sabotage new interactions with new women. And a lot of guys are doing that because they're so caught up on something from years ago. They're fucking up every new opportunity that comes their way today, and with better women. You know, they're still holding on to the pain. And I like to compare it to holding on to a hot piece of coal. The longer you hold on to it, the more damage you're going to cause to your hand. If you let go straight away, you'll do far less damage than if you hold on to it. And that's what a lot of guys are doing. And that's why they're miserable every single day right now. And it doesn't have to just be relationships. We're also talking business, for example. You started a business many years ago. It did well for a while. You were living it up. And then something happened. You went bankrupt. The business had to shut down. And it was bringing you so much joy and fulfillment when you were running it. But it's not here anymore. The business is shut down. It's okay, man. Sometimes we get dealt bad cards in life and we have to come to terms with it. You know, I was saying this to a guy on a coaching call earlier. Sometimes you can do everything right and still fail. That's just the way life is. And that's okay. With the ups come the downs. You can't just accept the ups. You know, Jim Rohn used to say life is both positive and negative. We can't just focus on the positive. We also have to keep in mind that there are negatives. There's life and then there's death. There's profit and then there's debt. Okay? The glass is half full, but it's also half empty. You know, I'm against the idea that, just focus on the half full. No, well, it is also half empty, right? That's just the way life is. You don't want to be too cynical, and you also don't want to be naive and think that life is all sunshine and rainbows, because there are going to be days where you are surely going to be devastated, of course. And this is why the whole idea of search for happiness is a little bit, in my opinion, of a bullshit objective, a bullshit mission, because it's naive. You know, you search for the good in things, absolutely. But if you're only looking to remain in a state of happiness, then you're not living in the real world. You're living in some fantasy. Because, you know, life isn't always hunky-dory, isn't always sunshine and rainbows. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it, as one famous man once said, right? But fellas, you got to bounce back from a situation that crumbled you. And you can bounce back. You can. And, you know, there are a lot of guys that will say that, you know what, I thought I'd never recover when I broke down, when I broke up with my ex. But you know what, now I'm with the woman of my dreams. We have kids together. You can't just focus on the negatives. As I said, you also got to focus on the fact that there are people out there who are in incredible relationships with women that they met after their breakup. And they're living an incredible life and they've got kids together, and right? So you got to look at the positives as well. You're only focusing on the negative. And if whatever you focus on life, you continue to attract more of. If you focus on the lack, if you focus on your debt, when I say focus on it, I don't mean focusing on it to resolve it. I mean, oh my God, like you're panicking over it. Oh my God, I'm in so much debt. If you focus on the fact that, you know, you haven't been in a relationship for 2 years and, you know, and all women want to do is use you for your money and they'll all cheat, then that's what you're going to continue to attract more of. That's why I'm against the whole black pill side of things on YouTube. There's guys that will say, you know, never marry a woman, women will do this to you. And also some of the red pill has become corrupted. What was once a positive movement is now becoming very cynical. You know, there's even guys on YouTube as part of the red pill community that will tell men to get a vasectomy, right? And not, I mean, what the fuck are you doing, man? That's trash advice. That's a victim's mentality. Because you don't want to impregnate her and then just choose your woman wisely. Honestly, this cynicism is just ridiculous. And look, you got to take accountability for your part to play in any situation. If you were a weak piece of shit human being who didn't lead in his relationship, didn't stand up for himself, then you know what? Your woman was right to leave you. Take it as a learning experience. And going forward, make sure that you are a different man. Don't live as a victim. Oh, but you know, it wasn't my fault. I never did anything wrong. Because the reality is, with that mindset, you probably did do a lot of shit wrong. And that's okay. We all make mistakes. Now, deciding to repeat the same mistakes is a problem. Okay, but learning from it is very valuable, because going forward, you'll probably be different. And so your likelihood of repeating the same mistake, if you've learned from it, is a lot less. Okay? Don't live in the past, my brothers. Great opportunities are on the way. Incredible memories. Brush yourself off and tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to make shit happen because I deserve a good life. I refuse to stay down. Yeah, I may have been knocked down, but I refuse to stay down. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I deserve a great life. I truly do. You've got to tell yourself that. Do not live in fear. Do not tiptoe through life on eggshells, afraid. What kind of a life is that, man? Get up, dust yourself off, and keep going. With that being said, thanks for watching this video, fellas. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, comment, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next one.